absolutely brilliant. Byrne say that. But it was anyway, from an outside point of view. I mean, I only worked on it for an afternoon, and when I saw the final piece, it absolutely blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. It was actually a fantastic piece of work. Particularly when we bear in mind what you guys are going to tell us shortly, the length of time it was shot in, and all that sort of stuff, because it was part of a well-known. It's not annual; it's biannual, I think.
It's annual.
Annual-ish.
Annual-ish.
It goes around Wednesday. I'll hand over straight away to Phil and say where did the inspiration come from? Because you wrote the fairy tale, you adapted the script, didn't you?
Yeah, we wrote it together, but go on, you take it.
And basically, what happened with this is that me and Matt were sat trying to discuss. We were basically trying to think of an idea, and Matt told me about an idea he'd had for a film, which was actually about a time-travelling detective. From that, I kind of liked the idea of a time-travelling detective, and we did this thing. I've discovered that me and Matt work really well as writers together, but we don't always end up with the same idea that we started with. Quite obviously, we sat over I think it was about 9 hours. We started with this idea of a time-travelling detective, and we started breaking it down piece by piece, going into all the motivations, working it out, really, hammering each individual idea, and everything got thrown out, put back in, taken away again, and we ended up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, about 2.5 bottles of red wine later, with the structure of Jack of Diamonds, of this modern fairy tale noir thing, which we were sort of there at 3 o'clock in the morning after starting at about 5 or something like that, and we had this structure of a film, and we got to this point in early hours in the morning, and we're like, right, there's a film there, we should make that, and then all that was left to do was to make the film.
So that's the easy part.
Absolutely, yeah.
So obviously red wine was a key influence here.
And vodka.
And vodka. Right, red wine and vodka. Okay, guys, that's what we're doing with this. Now, predominantly you went for the look of the film on this. So just talk us through what your mind and your influences were there, mate.
It was, like Phil said. I mean, it started off as a time-traveling detective, and we sat down and we talked about. I mean, we really did. I mean, we were there for about 8 or 9, 10 hours, something like that, where it started off as one thing. We're like, what about this? What about that? Yeah, but he could do this, and then if the film starts here, it could go there, and we actually, it's weird because when you usually start a story, you have a point.
Yes.
Like, this is where it starts, and the point where the original "this is what we're gonna do" started and just got blown the fuck out the window. It didn't matter at all. It was just like, no, it's good. Time traveling detective. He wakes up naked outside Manchester. Yeah. What should we do? That's right. Let's completely scrap it and start with something else. Yeah. That's basically what happened. Yeah. And then so there were all these big ideas, as there always are with it, and you go, well, we can shoot it this way and shoot it that way, and then we're like, okay, well, we're going to make it during a cabaret, and we've only got 3 days.
Just explain what cabaret is, because some people here might not know what it is, and the fact that we've got another one coming up.
Yes, Philmonic is an organisation that's part of a worldwide network of what's called Kino cells. They all operate independently, but they're all part of the same ethos, which is you've got a week to make as many films as possible. There are anything from 2 or 3 or 4 screenings, and it's a collection of artists from all different disciplines. So you have actors, and you have writers and directors and camera operators and sound operators and musicians and everything. Everyone comes together and makes these things, and we came up with a story prior to the cabaret, and we knew we wanted to make it within it, and we only have 3 days to shoot it over about 8 locations, and then to cut it and to screen it at the end of those 3 days. And we shot it over about 48 hours. Over about
that. Yeah,
Oh,
with
about
some
8
cutting,
locations.
a little bit of cutting in the 48 hours.
Yeah,
and then
we looked at the script and we're like, this is fucking impossible, we can't do
Yeah.
that. And then,
and then we did it anyway.
and then
72 hours start
that's
finish.
what happened. Yeah, so that film, the whole thing, like from start to finish, I mean, what we've just seen is sort of a slightly refined version. The version that we screened at the Cabaret was a little bit more raw and didn't have so many. Anyway, yeah.
But not vastly so. Not vastly so. That's pretty much
rough as arses. It was rough as arses, Joe. That's what it was. Rough as tits.
Give me that. I feel like. Can I just say, the editor in Matt is obviously well aware of all the various frames he's trimmed out of it, but actually that is pretty much what was done. I think it was cut down to 235 in the stuff we did after Cabaret, wasn't it?
Yeah, that version was done about. I spent 2 days after the original bit, just recutting. Sorry, just recutting and dropping and tightening things like anyone does when they go back to a film. They go, yeah, we can lose that. We can pick this up and do whatever. Yeah,
you cut the fingers off your beard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just trimmed the fat and just made it a bit tight. Recut some parts and that was that. But the whole thing was shot in 2 days. Like even regardless of the recut. It was shot in 2 days. Shot in 2 days and then cut and then recut again. That's it.
I've just noticed there's a theme. We got beards. It's beards, isn't it?
Beards are awesome.
I mean, and I believe Rob probably shaved his up before he got here today. So
he's got something
beards.
There. It came down to his pelvis.
Yes. Yeah.
Rob's the guy who did the score. Yes, by the way, those who don't know. He's at the back there, hiding away. No, he did the original.
Yeah, Rob, just want to come up a minute.
I bet he doesn't.
I
bet he doesn't either. No, I bet he won't.
Right, okay. Okay, well, you guys then will have given, I presume you'll have given Rob some idea of what you want for the score, because the score was omnipresent all the way through it. Really, really nice score, so talk us through that bit.
We did. It was at that point where we were listening to the Bear McCreary soundtrack from Battlestar Galactica and the When So Go soundtrack from Old Boy.
Yeah.
So that the whole influence for that was somewhere between Battlestar Galactica and Old Boy. Like he'd been listening to Bear McCreary, I've been listening to the Old Boy soundtrack. I was like, you know what? Whenever we sit down and try and write something, should listen to the Old Boy soundtrack. I was like, no! Sit down and listen to the Battlestar soundtrack. Rob, obviously working with two completely inept fuckheads, was like, well, I'll try something. And then, so he came up with that, and that's testament to him, because he just sort of took the stupid ideas that we said, this is what musically. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
We basically gave him
and he just made some fucking awesome music
and said
that's
we
what
want
he does.
something like that, but not obviously not that.
Can you make this? But
this, but not that.
Infringe copyright. Go on, Rob.
It's basically what we did, and it's obviously. I mean, I think every composer deals. Sorry. Every composer deals with this kind of thing where you have directors and writers turn up and they don't know anything about music. And you say, I want something that's a bit sort of dark and sort of angry, but not too angry, and kind of
a bit poppy, but not too poppy.
Yeah. I want it to sound exactly like this, but not anything like that. Every composer probably deals with all this kind of nonsense.
Take everything you know and do it and redo it. And they make us some music. That was basically.
But regardless of what we told him, because obviously what we told him was complete. But we gave him like 3 tracks from someone else, something like that, please. And honestly, in full credit to him, because we were making it over 3 days, he had no idea what the film was going to be, really. He had no idea what the cut was going to be. He made us some really, really good sort of demo stuff, which completely fitted. I mean, I got to say, I loved a lot of the thematic stuff that he did with it all. And then when it came down to it, we actually had. I mean, obviously we've worked on it since then, but when it actually came to the screening. I think Matt got the rough cut done by about 2 o'clock on the afternoon when the screening was going to happen.
Bollocks. Alex.
What? Go on.
It was 5 o'clock.
Oh, is it that? Oh.
And the screening was at 7.
So all I remember was getting the rough cut, sitting down with Rob and going, ah! Because we had to suddenly score this 10-minute film in however long we had to do it. And we had these pieces, and me and Rob just sat together and pieced this stuff together. And God bless him, because all of his original stuff was so great and it all worked together, we could just take this jigsaw material he had and just make it work as a score. That score has been since refined and worked over, but even the original score, I give full credit to Rob because it was fucking amazing.
I mean, again, and this I've got it back. I've got it back.
Well done,
I mean, normally it's me that the one they have to shut up, but no, seriously, great insight there. And on top of that, they've got to batter me after. On top of that, it's a real advertisement for what you can do in Filmonic. So, any filmmakers in here tonight that haven't had anything shown or that are wanting to get involved, or students that just want to get yourselves along? You're going to get along, aren't you? Yeah, you're going to go good. Questions from the audience? See that?
No one cares.
They've been here for 4 hours and they're like, I want to go fucking home. I'm fucking knackered, man.
That was Matt's Geordie accent.
Yes. All right, well, what's next? That's what I'm going to ask. What are you working on next? Because I want to get involved. Anyway, no, what's next?
Next, Phil and me and Rob and another guy, Tim, and another guy, Matt, we make up, Tim Lyman, we make up what's called Zero Facility Films, and it's exactly how it sounds. It's like there's fuck all behind it, and we just try and make what we can for what we've got. And in June, we're aiming to make a short film called Radio Silence, which is a 15-minute short film. It's not so much about a naked time-travelling detective who wakes up outside Manchester going, fuck me. It's nothing to do with that. It's more...
Give me some of this.
Take it away. Son of a bitch, that's my beer. I'm going to burn you when you sleep. We've got a couple of short films coming up. One of our counterparts in ZFF, Timmy, has directed a film that's going to be like a 40-minute film, which is hopefully going to come out around June. And after that's come out, we're hopefully going to make a short film. That's Willpower. Yeah. Keep an eye out on Facebook and all the other social networks.
We're working on one over the next couple of weeks.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Good stuff. At least we're keeping busy, Phil. That's what counts. No.
You're rubbish.
No.
What are we doing on Saturday, man?
Yeah, we're shooting something else. That's someone else.
But we're still doing it. Anyway, never mind.
For fuck's sake, just
We're shooting a film over the next couple of weeks. We're doing. There's also a. It's very late. There's also what we'll be involved in after we've shot a feature film in Salford in 2 weeks, which is a little bit exciting. We've also got the cabaret coming up, the next cabaret. This one was obviously shot last year's cabaret. The next one's happening from the 2nd to the 9th. 8th. Thank you, Cass. Cass keeps us in line. She's amazing. 2nd to the 8th, and that is basically, if that was shot at a cabaret. That was us turning up, shooting something within 3 days to be screened at the end of those 3 days. If anybody wants to get involved in something like that, we are absolutely open to all comers, whether you've made a film before, whether you've made a feature film before, or whether you've never picked up a camera before. All that sort of stuff we're really, really interested in having people turn up like that, because it's how pretty much we all started. It's definitely how I started. Matt, we found him somewhere. But yeah, definitely. After we shot this feature film, we'll be doing the cabaret, and we'd really like to see loads of people turn up at that one because it's such a great place for local Manchester filmmakers to come along and do stuff that's exciting and exciting and stuff.
Really good use of the English
Thank
language.
thank you. I'm a writer, don't you know?
Okay. Big thanks,
You're a
Phil
douche.
McDuff. Matt Jones.